Hey
I
everybody,
thought he was gonna
welcome.
sell out.
Oh look, he's see Eddie and Eddie's still talking, interrupting my introduction. It's all right though. Hey everybody, welcome to Toy Chats here on the Nerd Dungeon YouTube channel. It's your boy Dre, the Geek Dad. I'm here with my boy King Bob, and as always, we always have a fire guest, and this guest is just as fire as the other ones. I'd like to introduce my fellow collector, my brother in arms and legacy collectors on Tuesdays, Mr. Eddie Figs. Eddie Figs, welcome to Toy Chats.
What's up, guys?
And I always like to start these off where we are just having a good weekend. I know that we came off of a very good collection weekend for you, Mr. Eddie, because not only was it your birthday last week and you had some awesome stuff come in, but you are now going down the rabbit hole for Super 7.
Oh yeah, thanks to you. Thanks to
Well,
you, I'm all for the Thundercats now.
yes, as you guys have followed me on Instagram, you guys have seen on my personal Instagram, Jake's Geeks Dad. You've seen that I have tons of the Super 7 Thundercats. I'm only missing, I think, 4 that I really want because I'm not collecting all of them. But I did tell Eddie he caught a sweet deal online, and you just can't pass that up. You
Oh no,
just you can't.
not at all. He's right there.
So let's start at the beginning. I always like to start these off with the simple question, like, when did you get into toys?
So
And like,
it
what was
was
the toy
I
that
never
got you
got
there?
right. So I never got out of toys. That's the best part. I kind of always collected, even if it was closet collecting, and I didn't let everyone know that I was collecting. But I never stopped. Really, it would be random little stuff here and there. But the more serious I got recently, which was maybe like 2 years ago. What got me? I want to say it was Joe's, the Classified series. Them and wrestling figures and Marvel Legends got me right back into it, completely full, no more closet hiding from everyone. I was like, look, I'm embracing my nerd. This is what it is. I am, so I will do. And now it's, as you can tell, it's craziness.
Oh yes, I've seen your hauls, daily hauls, weekly hauls. um, so you said it was closeted. So I'm gonna go there and ask that because I think that that's a very very bold statement. So were
Right.
you embarrassed about being a collector?
Um, Yeah, at first it was kind of more like, oh man, I don't want anyone to know that I'm a grown man that plays with, not plays, but collects action figures, takes pictures of them and stuff like that. So it was very like, I was nervous about it. Like, I don't want everyone to know. I would let a select few know. But I kind of got over that because I'm a grown man. Like, I'm an older man now, and I don't really care what anyone thinks about me or how they feel.
And I agree with that. I think 100% you have to be that way. I think that we all at some point have become closeted fans. Hey, there's Christian. Hey, Toy Rum. Good to have you in
What's up,
here, Christian.
Christian?
Chris.
So I think I'm gonna just say it like this. Basically, I think we've all I know I was never a closeted fan because I always was very angry with people that always got and like made fun of my collection, you know. And I would say I've been outed back in about 2014. I was working at my old school. I was in the office at that time, and I had an office, corner office, that I had a RoboCop poster, movie poster from the new movie on the door. And then you walked in, and it was like toys on my desk. I had a shelf in the back of my office that had tons of stuff all over it. I had, like posters all over my office. My kids loved coming in there because they were like, "Oh, he's approachable. He's actually, cool." And
Right.
that when I went to the classroom, it just blew up all over my classroom. So, and then obviously you have a wife that now she's done that, theming parts of her classroom to like superheroes or things that she likes as well. So, you know, is that something that you share with your wife, that you are? Because I know about Jordan, but I don't want to like, does she into collecting as well, or?
She's an enabler for sure. She is all for it as long as I'm not out in the street. getting into trouble or anything like that. She's all for it. She loves that I want to stay home and take pictures and open up these boxes, and that I get super excited when I have a mail call or whatnot. And she loves it. She loves it. She does collect certain things here and there. That let me see if I could get it in there. That's actually hers, the collection everybody loves so much, the
Oh, the
Golden
Golden
Girls.
Girls. Nice.
Yeah. That started as hers. I kind of so she got me into watching it, so now it's mine. But yeah,
I
she definitely she loves it.
Golden Girls was when Rory was born. That was like kind of our thing we would watch because we couldn't really go anywhere off the couch because it'd be
Right.
her sleeping. So it'd be me and my wife would like either fall asleep while watching an episode or two, and we would just that was like our thing because it was quiet. It was like we knew the show. I think that was one of those definite little linchpins in our relationship as well because I got her some of that too.
Of course.
I like what you said, Christian. Collecting is for life. I
Oh
could
hell
care
yeah!
less what people say. Bob is definitely one for that. I can't even argue.
I
Bob has
mean,
been a lifelong collector. So
I mean, with me, like I have vivid memories of my childhood, and I wish I could go back in time and tell them this to don't open that shit and just put it away. 'Cause,
oh God,
I grew up like going to my grandparents' house. I had the He-Man stuff. I had Thundercats. I had Silverhawks. I didn't have many GI Joes, but again, Thundercats, Masters of the Universe, stuff like that. I mean, I
turtles. I
remember
assume.
after my grandmother died, my grandfather, my father, and my uncle cleaned out the attic, and that's when all my memories came walking down the freaking steps out to the curb. And to this day, I would like murder my freaking family for throwing shit away. I'm
Oh,
like the freaking OG Castle Grayskull, all that stuff I had, and yeah. But I mean, then like you get into high school, you gotta hide a little bit, like Eddie said. But I mean, I bought wrestling figures, I bought stuff like that, and now it's everything from Disney autographs, freaking comic books.
handmade by
I,
robots.
oh fuck yeah! I did that little thing this morning on Instagram, and I realized how many I had now, and I'm like, holy shit! Like,
Yeah, you have a
I mean,
little a few.
I have 54, and then I have my duplicate, so I'm up to close to 60 right now. But I mean, they're addicting and they're cheap. That's kind of why I buy them, and they look better than friggin' pops do, in my opinion.
I agree.
I mean, Dre knows my pop collection. I went from
Thousands.
no, it wasn't thousands. I was never that stupid.
You had
Uh,
hundreds. I was over.
no,
I was in the thousands.
I mean, at my peak, I had probably 600 Funko items between pops, sodas, Dorbs, mystery minis, whatever. I'm down. I don't know what I'm at yet. But I was telling you guys, off stream, I got shelves for the bedroom. Everything's coming out of box. I'm throwing away all my pop
Yes.
boxes. I am, I may have to buy a couple more, but for right now, I got 4 in there, and we're gonna, do some mixing. I got some figures. Yes, Trey, I do have figures. They're packed
I,
away.
I know you do.
I know. You
I've
give me
never
shit.
said that you don't.
You give me shit, but I mean, I got some McFarlane stuff to bring out. I got some Legends. I got some Black Series. I've got your wrestling figures, stuff like that. And I too jumped down the Super Seven rabbit hole. Dre knows I got the Prince John, got the Robin Hood on
Nice.
pre-order,
Nice.
and God bless my bank account, but I have my first turtle on the way in. That
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
and yeah, yeah. I'm doing the turtle rabbit hole. I got Michelangelo coming in. He should be here Thursday. Then I went on Big Bad Toy Store and I pre-ordered Leatherhead, a couple of other ones.
Yeah, they're definitely those
But
Super Seven
yeah,
and Turtles
yeah,
are
that's gonna hurt. But I mean, right now Turtles, I've got the Kid Robots and yeah, Super Seven. We'll do some Disney and then Turtles, and then
well.
No.
I'm gonna say this, and I give shit to you, Bob, and it's like, and it's not really like I give you shit about it. I more like was just felt like I was an island to myself for a long time because
well,
we all know that within the clique, like for us, it was Funko Pops is what we all started with, and I think that's like the gateway drug for
well,
newer
yeah. I
for
mean,
the collectors within the last 10 years. Most newer collectors or older collectors that came into the collecting hobby would say Funko was their gateway back in, and then like their exit has been either Hot Toys, statues, and or like the 1/12 scale. So I would say within the last maybe 4 years, I have started migrating away from the that scale and gone strictly now into the 1/12 scale. Like, mind you, except for thanks to my boy Steven for Iron Man for my hot toy, my 1/6 scale. Um, but that's neither
hey,
here nor
Steph.
there. I mean, like, I think, hey, Steph, I think that it's, we eventually as collectors decide to move our collection somewhere,
Right.
and that's like, Bob, this, and I know I told Eddie this a thousand times. Like, I'm stopping WWE. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
collecting WWE anymore. I've kind of just like, I've reached an apex with them. Like, when I look at the quality of what you get for $25 versus what I would get from an AEW figure for $20 versus what I get from a Super 7 Ultimate Wrestling figure for $50, you start, you know, pops to Nendroids. Yeah, that's a step. I definitely will agree with that. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
but I
well,
think everybody makes that transition. What were you saying, Bob?
I was gonna say I don't know. I think the pops to the custom toy game is a fucking huge leap. You go
Oh
from
yes,
$15 to I talked about the big boy piece I purchased. Yeah, the 101 from
Search and
Surge.
Destroy. Yep. Shout out
Nice.
to my boy Search and
That was
Destroy.
that was a I'm gonna call that an investment because it wasn't cheap. But again, I've talked about it before. It's that one of one or two of two or stuff like that I enjoy. But Dre does his toys. I I do anything I can, and that's my problem. I do custom custom stuff. I do autographs, which I just ordered. I just got another autograph on pre-order. Um, and then everything else that I do, trying to travel and shit. It's tough, but
It definitely is.
you make those sacrifices for you know $50 toy or $100 whatever. It's all about sacrifice. Do I collect Dorbs? It's weird. It's funny. I did at one point, and me personally, I love the Dorbs rods, and it's weird. I was looking on my IG today, uh, the on this day stuff, and I had posted a bunch of pictures of my Dorbs rod like back when I first started on here, and those were regular Dorbs, not so much, but like the rods were pretty cool. I need to find my Milano and bring that out. Um, I had a bunch of the pirate ships because obviously one of my favorite movies is Pirates of the Caribbean, so I had a bunch of pirate ships.
Nice.
But again, it all boils down to I collect way too much stuff, but I enjoy it. So I make those sacrifices in my life to say, you know what, I'm not going to go out and eat this week. I'm gonna you know wait for booze and buddies and drop $100 or shit like that. But obviously right now it's going to be those turtles I have to catch up with.
Oh no, trust me, Eddie was playing that catch up game, and I'm going to say this because I love you, Eddie, because I know you are playing the catch up game with it, with Thundercats. You know, like I got into Thundercats late myself. I missed the first run, and then I started getting into the second run, and I've been working on him to get those, and now he has them, and his Optimus Prime looks. I think probably that's one of the best to build an 80s shelf, which is
Right.
kind of
Yep.
where we were talking about that earlier through text, Eddie. That we kind of moved our collections, and I'm going to ask you this: do you feel like your collection, the Hot Toys, the Super Sevens, the Legends, you know, and the Black
Mhm.
Series, do you feel like you're moving your collection towards 80s, 90s, or are you keeping it semi-modern and then just doing strictly 80s?
It's all over the place. Who am I going to lie to? It's all over the place. I'm collecting 80s. I'm collecting modern. I'm collecting everything I could put my hands on. Kind of like what Bob was saying. If I like it, I want it, I get it. That's it.
That's the
But
truth.
right now, I am focused on the 80s. I am catching up. The Thundercats. I only got Lionel so far. I'm doing the Super 7 Transformers. Got a bunch of those waves on pre-order now. Um, yeah, 80s right now, but it's all over the place. I love everything.
I think that your collection, I would want to say one of the bright spots in your collection, and I'll shout this out because I think it's awesome, is your Power Rangers collection.
Oh
Your
yeah,
lightning collection is, I
that
think,
thing right there.
yeah, I think hands down, it is probably one of the better curated sets. Mine being second, obviously, because I'm definitely behind you on that. Hey, Kenneth.
Hey,
What up,
Kenneth, babe.
Hey, yeah, Mr. VA's in the house from Virginia. But yeah,
I'm gonna
like
be moving to Virginia.
yeah, Kenneth, you're gonna be having a neighbor soon, and our boy Eddie, he'll be moving up there.
Virginia is
Oh
for
yeah,
lovers.
It
oh
is
yeah.
for lovers, for lovers. But what? Okay, so I met you, obviously through Chris, but
Mhm.
I want to go back where I
Okay.
first got introduced to Eddie Figs was the OG Geek video from last year at MegaCon, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
when you went last year, and you were buying Hot Toys
SuperCon,
or
SuperCon.
SuperCon. Sorry, yeah, it was
Right.
SuperCon, and you bought some Hot Toys.
I, bu- I bought my first hot toy.
Yes, and that was where I saw you, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, he is now like fully invested into the 1/6 scale market." And
Yeah, yeah.
explain that jumping into the pool into the 1/6 scale.
So I'm a huge fan of shout out to Justin Collectibles. I'm a huge fan of his channel. I watch it a lot. I love 1/6 scale figures. They're obviously what they are. They're beautiful figures, and I always wanted to. I've been doing 1/12 scale for the longest. Like I said, wrestling, Marvel Legends. Like my Marvel Legends collection is pretty crazy too. I just don't have it out, but it's pretty nuts. So then I started watching OG Geek and Seth, and I was seeing their like 1/6 scale collections, and I was like, man, I really want to jump in. And like I said, my wife Jordan, she's an enabler. She's an enabler. So
Yes,
we're
she
at
is.
SuperCon. We're walking around. We go to Bits and Buttons, this place down here in Florida. But it was their booth in SuperCon. Mike's with me, Seth's with me, they're all with me, and I see Mando, the 1/6 scale Mando, and I'm like, if I'm gonna do this, it has to be this. It has to. I have to start it off with Mando, and sure enough, I bought Mando, and ever since I've been slowly but surely. You see Spider-Man, both of those. There's a bunch up there behind the Mescos, and it's expensive, but like Bob was saying, if you make certain sacrifices in your life here and there, and you do things the right way, you can buy yourself some hot toys, and that's what I'm on right now.
And I would definitely agree with you that your collection, knowing you personally, as I've gotten to over these months, friend, you are just like me. You friend very hard, so it's like
Yes.
we are very much akin to that, which is awesome. Um, I would agree with you. Does you feel like your collection can fund itself at times? Because you and I both have said that. Like our collections
Yes.
will not take out of our pocket if they don't have to. If we could use it to
Right.
fund other things, we would do that. Because that's how
Right.
you would
Right.
fund. That's how your Hot Toys, and I don't want to say addiction because I think that's such a very negative nomenclature for that. I would say your Hot
It's
Toys.
aggressive.
It's aggressive. Yes, you have a very
It's an
aggressive
aggressive
love.
term.
Yeah, I think you have an aggressive love of Hot Toys, and I do too. I'm not gonna lie. I did have some many years ago,
Mhm.
and I missed them very dearly because they were very good pieces that were curated from
Uh,
a place that I worked for, and now it's like, boom, I got that one, and I got that one off of a trade.
Schmitty.
Smitty, I love you, Smitty.
he
You are
knows
so
all about enabling.
yeah. We're not going to talk about him enabling this guy over
He
here.
did. See, there was a. I feel like there was a war back when we started doing toy chats, we started doing click talks and stuff for my wallet, not for my friendship, not for but for my wallet. It was Dre with the toys and Smitty with the custom stuff. And I think this show pushed me to Smitty's side of things because I mean I spent all the money on the season on the series one cards and everything behind me now and yeah, but Dre's jumping back in. He ain't giving up.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I don't give up. I would like to like when
I don't
it's
need to
I
find the
believe
money for everything. That's my problem.
that's kind of where I hit. You know, shout out to both my groups of friends because they're hi beautiful girl. They both give me very good advice on how to like manage my collection and like I have to admit a lot of my older wrestling figures have now found a home with Eddie because I know how much of a fan he is of the classic WWE, WWF wrestlers. And I was like, I could just sell these on Mercari randomly, or I could set up a good trade, which
Yeah,
we did. And it's awesome because now the look on his face when he opens that box and he appreciates it. It just feels good, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And I know he saw that with me because I have my first. And shout out to Serge. Yeah, that was from me to Bob right there. Shout out! I had to get him a Scott Hall. Could not let my
Go
brother not have
live,
a Scott.
baby. Go live.
Smitty, I feel a lot better now because I would have killed myself if I didn't finish. I can kind of ride off into the sunset until series two, but right now we're working on more DIY cards and stuff
I
like
gotta
that.
I gotta
So
show him. This is my very first shout out to Serge for me going down the rabbit hole of Storm Collectibles, Kung Lao.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I absolutely love this figure. Big shout out to Eddie that he got it as part of my trade, and I have to admit, like, it is probably one of the more beautiful figures. Not a whole lot of articulation, but very very good
yeah,
figure.
you said Surge, right?
No, not that Surge, not
Oh,
Surge and
well, whatever.
Destroyer.
I'm still showing this off. Deal with it.
Shout out to our boy Serge E, who the real Surge 3 on Instagram, because he does dioramas, and we'll be getting him on the show whenever he gets to like actually be around. When he actually answers a FaceTime, Surge.
Oh, damn, you're throwing shade now.
Oh yeah, we throwing
Uh-oh.
shade. Well, we love him though. We love him. So now that you've gotten into like a more narrowed focus with your collection, um, you and I talked about this recently too. That we just went through a bunch of pre-order cancellations,
Nice.
and what were some of the things that you canceled, and I'm curious as to why you canceled them.
So I canceled a lot of stuff that I felt like I kind of didn't want or didn't need necessarily. Because, for example, I had the Ace Toys, Homelander, and Butcher up for pre-sale, and I saw the reviews on those guys, and I was not a fan anymore, and I went and canceled that. Then I had the NECA RoboCops on pre-order, the regular version and the battle damage with the chair and Ed 209. And I just canceled all of those because the Haya Toys 112 scale is coming and it's diecast. So I'm
That's
like,
gonna be dope.
I just need one RoboCop to represent that time period. You
Mhm.
know, I don't need all of these RoboCops and an Ed 209, which I might still get an Ed 209 at some point because it's going to scale perfectly with that Haya Toys one.
Yeah, the NECA definitely will scale well with the Haya toy since it's gonna be 112 scale.
Right. And then what else did I cancel? I mean, I canceled a lot. It was
Well, I'm gonna jump in on that
random stuff.
Homelander. I'm gonna jump in on your Homelander one because we talked about this.
Yes.
I was very because So Toys. I followed them on Instagram, and they were the ones that did the Cajun Dealer, which is the one RG. Shout out to RG that he got, which is Gambit. They did Homelander and Butcher, and Starlight looks terrible. I don't like the Starlight, but the Homelander one and the Butcher looked good, looked really good. So I remember texting Eddie, and I was like, "Yo, dude, check this out! Like they're going up for pre-order. Like So Toys just put this up. Should I get it?" And he was like, "Nah." He's like, "Don't get it. Like he's like, I've seen reviews," and I was like, "Dude, but it's Butcher. It's like it's Butcher, and it's such a good looking figure. I mean, it looks like Carl Urban." And then, you know, the Homelander, like once he said it, then I went on YouTube and I watched some reviews and I saw the same comments about delays in their shipping, quality control issues, and this, that, and the third. And I said, well, once you get out of the 112 scale, which we comfortably can all agree is probably about $150 top of the 112 scale high end market, which is like Mezco, I mean Mezco, and I would guess like any other independent company sits around that price point. So once you leave that, you're now entering Sideshow Hot Toys prices, and that's something you can't come back from, and you want to be able to look at it as an investment. So I get why you told me not to go that route, which I'm glad I did. But it's like making that choice with like a Mafex. You know, it's like you spend 120 to get a comic book accurate figure, multiple points of articulation, or do you spend $25 on a Hasbro version of it that's okay, no accessories, and no window now in the box to even look and see if the figure's broken or not? You know, so it's, you know, it depends on where you want to go. But again, like you and Bob both said, a lot of funding your hobby goes through like actually funding the what you invest into your pieces. Do you have pieces now in your collection that you would say, if I got rid of it, I wouldn't care, or is there like that like 3 pieces? Because I'm going to say Smitty says you have some fire pieces that he's seeing on the Toy Realm on Tuesdays, which I have to agree because I've seen some of those pieces myself. But are there like top 3 pieces you own that are like prized? They'll never leave your collection.
They'll never leave my collection.
Top 3.
Can it be a collection within my collection?
Bob, what do you think? Collection within the collection? No, it's gotta be a piece.
No, we made this difficult.
One piece. One piece. One piece. Definitely, I want to say. Well, that's a good one, man.
It got you thinking now. I like this.
Yeah, you got me.
That's the whole really point of this show. It's not a softball.
That Mando's one, definitely.
Your first hot toy. All right, so your first Mando hot toy.
That's never leaving my collection. I want to say that Spider-Man's definitely never leaving my collection.
That one's dope with the scorpion tail.
Right. And then, man, that's really good. It's a really good question. Who else? I don't want to just pinpoint all hot toys. I guess the 3-0, it's all 1/6 scale that wouldn't leave.
That's a fair thing. That's a fair thing. 3-0 Rangers, because he's got Dracon and he's got the Green Ranger, and those are beautiful pieces.
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say my Joes. My Joes will never leave, but I had to keep it one piece.
Yeah, it's hard. Joes are, I see the wifey's in the chat. Hi, Jordan.
Yeah. She's in here.
The JDF Ranger 1/6 scale. Yes, I agree. I know that he would never let that leave because we both have met him, and that's something that once you meet the guy, it's like I can never see. Like I would never get rid of my Evo 3 Lord Dracon Hasbro exclusive. Like I'll never get rid of that. You know, if I would be very honest, I would say that probably none of my Green Ranger figures would ever leave my collection. You know, or any of the White Ranger, because I got Lord Dracon, I have the White Ranger, I have the Green Ranger, I have Evo 3 Dracon. I would probably get both the Hot Toy, the 230 versions.
I forgot about this piece. Hold on, let me see if I can get it without knocking everything over.
Let's not do that.
Since we're talking about Green Ranger, this would probably be a piece I would never, ever, ever get rid of. And it's signed by JDF.
Nice. That's the Mattel one, right?
The
Bandai. Those are the Bandai. Yeah, those are the Bandai Legacies.
Bandai. Yep. This is when I met JDF. He signed that for me.
Nice.
Yeah, that would probably never, ever leave. Or that picture up there with him.
Yeah, I have to find our picture because we have our picture that we took, and I want to take another picture with him with the updated family, obviously, because it was me, Lana, and Meredith. Now we got to do that with me, Lana, Meredith, and Rory because we got that picture, and he's just a genuinely good dude. If anybody has not got a chance to meet him, you have to. I think he overall just is a nice person. I have had the pleasure of meeting him not once but twice. And I will say that he is just genuinely good people.
He is a good guy, and honestly, in my perspective, even if he wasn't, I would have still loved to meet the guy, just for the simple fact that it was a big deal for me as a kid. Like he was my favorite Ranger, he was like my favorite superhero at the time. Like it was so much, and he helped me mold some of myself throughout my life. Like to be better, to not be the bad guy, whatever, the story, what he went through. You know how it goes.
We all, but I think you're 100% right. I think we all can look at that and say that there's, hi, beautiful girl. I think we all, like she's showing her Elmo and her Eddy. Sorry. I think we all would say that he's been influential at some point in our lives because for me, I know that I studied martial arts. Like I got into Taekwondo because of Tommy, and I kept studying martial arts because, I grew my hair. I grew hair, folks. I had long hair and a ponytail, just like he did. I know people are like, oh my God. I know people will watch this video and be like, what? It's something even my brother-in-law and I have in common. It's so crazy because it's like we first met, we start talking. A lot of people aren't into collectibles, but when you mention Power Rangers, there's always somebody that says, man, I was a fan of the Green Ranger. And it's just like, yes, it's like, there's a bond right there. You automatically now have that mutual respect. But yes, I definitely can 100% agree that he's good. You got to meet him. If you guys can, he's actually doing a turnout.
Awesome guy, by the way. Right. He's an awesome guy. He is.
He really is. Let's see. I'm going to throw out this question to you. What do you think so far in 2022? We are now officially 7 months through this year, or getting to 6.5 months, I would say.
Okay.
What do you think right now would be with the number one or one of the best toys this year that's come out?
Ooh.
Now we're not going with 6 scale because we know 6 scale, we only get about 3 or 4 releases of 6 scale a year. So it'd be 1/12 scale.
Honestly, I don't have Storm Shadow in hand, and he looks amazing as far as I've seen, but I do have this guy in hand, and I want to say this guy.
Spirit,
this guy is awesome. Like, I'm in
love
with this. He
photographed so well.
I'm in love with this pig right now.
You guys need to go look. He is photographed so well. I've seen.
I want to say he's my number one.
That's what you're gonna say? Is Spirit?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, you still collect toys, and I didn't even know you were that much into the McFarlane stuff. I knew you collected some because I knew you did some of the Marvel selects that you got from that deal that you found that bin. You know,
Yeah.
it fell off the back of a truck.
No, it didn't fall off. I went in
I
there
know,
and picked it up, but
I know,
yeah.
I know. But what McFarlane piece do you think is like some of like the coolest McFarlane pieces you've seen this year?
You already. This is an easy answer.
Oh yeah,
The
Mirrorverse.
Mirrorverse. I have that
Mirrorverse
too.
Jack Sparrow.
I like that one.
Or
Oh, we could do an or. We could.
uh,
Oh yeah,
Blue. Yeah, Blue looks good too.
that Baloo might get me. That Baloo might get me to do it. It might.
I think the Donald's done it. I mean, I've done them. I've got Buzz. I bought the White Bell. I have Jack. I have Mickey, Goofy. I have not found anybody but the Genie in my area. Because they've just had no other McFarlane. Like I know that there's a bunch of shipping containers at one of my targets, so I'm assuming that like all the newer stuff is still in those containers. They're just doing a reset. So until that reset's done, you know, I'm gonna still say I'm gonna hold true to this. I think the best figure this year, in my opinion, and many people have agreed with me. I'm gonna say it, and I still haven't taken him out of his box yet. I'm saying this so far.
That was before I saw Spirit. Before I had Spirit in hand, that was number one.
I mean,
He's
I got
he's
Spirit
still
coming.
like he's like right there, man. It's the best cap.
I mean, he is the best Captain America. I think he's gonna. I will probably even go as far to say that he's probably the best Marvel legend I've seen.
Yes.
In this year, because some of the waves have been pretty shitty. We're gonna be very honest.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be very honest. The only other figures I would say, until I have that Storm Shadow in hand and at Spirit, I can't add those to that list. But I definitely know when I do the top 5 figures of the year later this year, those are going to be some of those classifieds are making the cut because Tomets and Zaymod, they look amazing. I mean, the His tank, we're not even going to go into the His tank. We're going to actually now have a 1/12 scale vehicle that looks awesome, that's been fully funded, you know, and we've already had the G.I. Joe fighter jet, you know, so we have this, and then there's talks now of the Mando Din Djarin's Starfighter. That's like HasLab's next look, the perspective project that they're talking about. So that's another one that
Black Series.
Yep.
Ooh.
And I know you've been talking about getting some Black Series vehicles because you've been wanting to do that 1/12 scale. There is the Second in Charles by me has the TIE Fighter, the Black Series TIE Fighter.
Ooh. Yeah, I only have the land speeder, Luke's land speeder. That's all I got right now. It's dope.
Yeah,
though.
but it is.
Like
there's some great, and I won't lie. I did get back into Star Wars, but I only collect the Mandalorian, Book of Boba, and the Bad Batch. They're the only ones. I do have. I lied though. I do have for pre-order the Star Wars Visions, the anime SH Figure Arts twins, the brother and sister twins. Because I saw those and they look awesome, and I was like, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole down SH Figure Arts because Mafex does a great job of the Star Wars figures too, because Phasma looks amazing. But let me ask collections now, because I know Big Dub posted it in his video. Shout out to Big Dub, talking about collecting, that collectors do not collect singular things. Do you feel inside of your collections? Because me and my wife talked about this yesterday. I said, babe, you know, you collect books, you collect this. Eddie, you and I talked about this. Me and Chris have talked about this. Do you feel within the collection that you have something you favor more now that you would hunt more for? Or is it pretty spread equal the love?
I want to say it's spread, but I do hunt down more Rangers currently.
Yeah, we do.
So I am more in the Lightning collection for sure. Like I've been playing catch up with the Lightning collection for a while now, and it's where my focus is. Joe's is where my focus is. It's spread out. I'm gonna go with spread out.
Okay, because I would
I'm gonna go
agree.
with spread out. And then
I
this is
think
your fault, so that's your fault. Oh, that's gonna be a whole new collection. That's your fault. Thanks.
yes,
I
I
pre-ordered
would.
the Thunder Tank. Thanks.
I know Chris got me the Thunder Tank, so I got to get that from him. Let's answer some questions from the chat here. So Tiny Ninja has said she has 90s Turtles figures.
You can just
Now
send those over
90s
to me. It's fine.
90s Turtles, I mean that is like the epitome of like classic. I would say those
What's
in
up, Art?
O-ring GI Joes are like, hey, what up, Art? I would say those are like the epitome of like classic. I need to have in my collection, like at least a Ninja Turtle representation.
Yeah.
So I agree. And then she also says that she has a variety of R2D2s. Now, is that
Nice.
spread out across like Funko and Black Series and like Disney Park exclusives? I'm just curious. And then Chris says he regrets selling his Amazon Scout Trooper with the bike. That was one I would have regretted too. And I know not Rogue One, Solo, the Enfys bike, like that bike that they have, that's like clearance now. People are trying to look for it to like grab it because they're like, oh man, it's a Black Series vehicle, but like it's crap. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a Black Series 1/12 scale vehicle. You know, it definitely be something fun. And then Chris also said that he's gone down the rabbit hole for Lego. We all know once you go down that rabbit hole for Lego, it is you're in there. You're in there like swimwear.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Bob went there with Handmade by Robots. It was funny. Eddy had said that he was going to get a Stitch Handmade by Robot, and
Almost.
I said,
I was this close.
Get it?
So Bob, I told him, I said, hey, you should talk to Bob because Bob buys so much from them. You know,
I mean,
like they personalize the invoices to him, so you know that they gotta love them.
Yeah, I would get drawings or little notes. I mean, honestly, I mean, we talked about ad nauseum, but I mean, as far as a company that is in touch with their community, there's second to none. I mean, obviously, they've been on our show here. They've been on a lot of different shows across YouTube and smaller YouTubers and stuff like that. And like I didn't jump on IG right now and message him, and someone will get back to me in a minute.
They're very good.
And that's true with anyone. I mean, a person can message him and they'll have a conversation with you. It's not just some like generic. We'll get back to you in 24 to 48 hours. No, it's hey man, what's going on? And I mean I've dealt with them since probably February, I think, something like that.
Yeah, they're very good.
And I fell hard. I mean I went from 0 to 54 in no time. And where they hit me is they hit me in the licenses that with Funko you can't touch, but you can touch it here. Like Ghostface, Scooby Doo, they got a lot of stuff coming out. Me, huge Disney fan, DC. I know they're getting into anime at some point, but just like for Funko Collector right now, hey, I'm a horror fan. I want to get Ghostface. Good luck. Like $500. Going to Handmade by Robots. It's hey, I want Ghostface. Okay, $19.99. And we got like 18 different variations, and they're all fucking cool, and I own them all.
Right.
And we'll continue to own them all as long as I have the money to afford them. But and they come in different sizes. They have their normal size, but little micros.
Cool.
This is detail. It's all vinyl, but it's the detail in the stitching and just the way they all look.
Yep.
Yeah, the fact that we got to get that behind the scenes look of how they make them.
Yeah.
We were very privileged, me, Smitty, and Bob, to like actually see their production of them, and that was something amazing and very
Yeah.
flattering. And shout out to Handmade by Robots because they really have come out and like I gotta agree with what Bob said. They are the fan of the collector. Like they look
Oh,
at
yeah.
what collectors are looking at. They're into that. They're not like Funko, where Funko is so far removed from what they used to be. And now that they've bought Mondo and they're going down that rabbit hole of like we're gonna do 1/6 scale figures, and Mondo's now like they paused the Masters of the Universe 1/6 scale line, and I'm just like, you guys just didn't have to go that route. But I understand why. It's a business, and that's what businesses do, you know. But not all businesses have to follow that same business model. I would say that that's fair for you, Chris. The biggest thing that you collect would be Black Series because Lord knows that that's like your kryptonite. Um, that's a fair question. I'm going to ask that to our chat. If you guys are in the chat box, what kind of if you do collect toys, what is the line that really stands out to you? Like I know Eddy has been doing the classifieds and the really the classifieds lately. Been and some legends and some lightning, but really classifieds have been jumping out because Crocmaster, Spirit, the his tank, like all these things are starting to boil over.
Oh yeah.
I would say for myself, it's definitely a toss up. I would say McFarlane for me, not as much Marvel Legends because even though I've started kit bashing, some, and I'm gonna be having some fun kit bashing some Joes, Super Seven and McFarlane because they're just putting out that fire. I mean that War World Superman with the gladiator armor and the shields, the Black
He
Adam
looks nice.
series of figures, the Titan collection Killer Croc, Titan collection Man Bat. I mean, I own two of the Titan collection figures right now, which is the Titan Joker and Titan Clayface, and I have a Batman villain shelf just dedicated to those figures. So if there's anything, I'm just curious what people are looking at because McFarlane right now is the price point. Hasbro is creeping out of that price point, but a lot of people like I know Sentry said it in his video, which was what's the price point that he would stop at before Marvel Legends became too expensive. Um, and he said he didn't have one that he could think of just now. And I think for me, my cap out would be the deluxe when a standard figure zero accessories costs as much as the deluxe.
Yeah, I would end it
That's
there,
what that's where I would say I think I'm done with the Marvel Legends.
and then I would focus on just getting them all in Mafex, and that's it.
Exactly. I would just go for the SH Figure Arts Mofex lines. Let's
Yeah.
see. RG says right here. He says one is Marvel Legends, two is GI Joe Classifieds, three Mythic
Oh yeah.
Legions. Yes, Mythic Legions definitely you are in the air like somewhere art. Four is Black Series, five is McFarlane toys from DC, obviously. And always dabble in Figure Arts, Mesco, Band Presto, Hot Toys. Yeah, I definitely would agree that your Marvel Legends, like watching your videos, Art. Shout out to you because you're an amazing dude and friend, and supporter of this channel. Just the fact I've watched you do hunt Marvel Legends down, but like I've seen your anime collection, and it makes me drool because your anime collection is awesome, and the fact that you're into mythics as hard as you are, I would definitely say yes. Um, Eddy, let me ask you that: what is a selling point for you to keep in the 112 higher end market? For because you opened up on Toy Realms, you opened up the Mafex boys figures. And what would you say was the number one selling point for those figures?
Head scopes. The head scopes, the articulation, the just the all out, like all around great quality. Because I'm a huge boys fan, obviously. I had the NECA boys figures, and man, I feel like they fumbled completely on
Mm-hmm.
Homelander's head sculpt. Uh, the Starlight was pretty good. It looked like her. I'll give them that. Who's gonna ruin a mask on Black Noir? They can't
Yeah,
ruin the mask. That's easy. But Homelander being my favorite character, they completely fumbled it. And then I saw the Mafex version and I was like, my God, that's him. And that's why we had that conversation about Ace toys and So toys. I'm like, they don't, especially those Homelanders, they do not look like that guy at all, bro. At all.
when Sideshow gets, hopefully Sideshow gets that license, because I would love to see a Sideshow Homelander.
Or Hot
I mean,
Toys. Or Hot Toys. Come on,
or a
bring it.
hot toy.
Bring it.
Exactly. I
Bring
would
it.
get a hot
Bring
toy
it.
Homelander, because he's
For
just
sure.
he's just a great character. I definitely want the Mafex, because we talked about why I want those Mafex figures of the boys, because they look amazing, and the fact that the accessories, like Butcher comes with the baby, which is the greatest selling point ever.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I definitely gotta go with that. So let's see. RG said he forgot. He said, "Oh crap, I forgot WWE and AEW." Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that we're all kind of winding down on those though, because
Yeah.
with the rosters dwindling and a lot of guys going to New Japan, and people waiting more for the Storm collectibles, X Ringside collectibles, stuff that they're doing, like Minoru Suzuki. I know Jay White is the number one like pick to be a Super 7 Ultimate. But like we have so many more coming out from there. AEW has got their version of the Ultimates line coming out, which they delayed this year to later this year. I think we're getting them in November-ish. So hopefully
They're
before
back ordered.
Christmas. Yeah, because I saw they were back ordered, but then I know that they did the same with their video game, because they were like, we were gonna have it, we were supposed to get it September of this year, then they pushed it to summer of next year. So
Right.
that'll be awesome, because I know they're trying to get THQ to work with them. But I'm in danger of collecting, as Chris says, DBZ, Nendroids, Mesco, and Storm. All right. I'm gonna even I will say this. DBZ, if you go down the SH Figure Arts realm, look at what Big Dub is. Big Dub has spent thousands on building that collection. Nendroids, I mean, I could tell you now from my experience, I collect them. I know Bob has a few, and he's blamed me for that love too.
Yeah.
Smitty,
Yeah.
I got him. He got into it as well. Nendroids are a great feature and a great figure, and they do retain their value. They're better than Cos Baby, but you got to take this shot to get them now, because sometimes you're not going to get the opportunity to get a reissue, because they don't reissue all their figures. Mezco, the same way. I mean, you're spending big money on a Mezco figure for mixed media goods. So, there's a lot of third-party companies out there. Mezco is one of the best companies, the AAA company, I'd call them. And I would say Storm Collectibles is definitely a run for your money. I mean, Surge definitely kind of tainted all of us with the Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter is definitely on that horizon for me, Let's see. And then he says, but I agree with everybody needs a Lion and a Panthro for their. Yes, if you're going to collect Undercats, you need a Lion and a Panthro in your collection. I mean,
Definitely.
hands down, that's a must for your collectible needs. Wow, we got some rando, but we're not going to answer you because we don't like weird things like that in there. So we will block that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just block that. There we go. So
nice.
And Christian, don't touch Ben Presto statues. Yeah, Ben Presto is awesome. I have several. If you guys saw my Instagram posts and my Facebook posts, I put some Ben Presto statues actually up on my bookshelf. So I have Goku Monkey Form version 4. I have Rose Gold. I have Ace from One Piece. I have Gohan from the Cell Saga, which I think is by far the best Gohan you'll ever see. And I think that's it. Yeah. So it's interesting to see. Oh yeah, he's at that site's on that Predator DX Nendroid. I told you that Predator is going to get you. So Eddie, I'm gonna talk. We're winding the show down, so I gotta ask some of your favorite lines that you collect. You collect Mofex, obviously, Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your least favorite lines? Like, do you have a line that you would just be like, Jesus, this is shit. I don't want to buy it.
I don't want to
Which
say
is which is negative because we know that I mean I
I
would
don't want
say
to say because I'm still gonna collect it. I don't want to
I'm
say
curious. I'm curious. I'm curious. I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
McFarlane.
See, McFarlane is not a crappy line though. I
It's
think
not. It's
McFarlane.
not because we accept the fact that it has the articulation it has. We accept the fact that it
It's
is.
museum
So
poses. That's all it
let me
is.
clarify. Let me clarify before I get lynched. Their movie figures are trash. The Rock figure that's coming for the Black Adam, that looks really good. But
Yes, it
everything
does.
else, I don't like it. I don't like it. And some of their animated series stuff, can't do it. Comic book stuff, yes, all day, every day. I love it.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
love it.
give it. Their comic book stuff is good. I mean, I still collect McFarlane. Not really the movie stuff because I did the Batman, and I think that was they were all placeholders for the 1/12
Right.
scale stuff. I'm gonna actually gonna be getting because, like you and I talked about it, like that black suit Mofex Superman of Henry Cavill versus the McFarlane one. That's definitely a stand-in in my collection till that one comes out, and then that one will be swapped in because they really did a great job.
Other than that, there's really no lines that I wouldn't collect. A lot of these lines are amazing. And honestly, I only collect what I feel like is good. So like Mezco, stuff like that, Marvel Legends, Hasbro. Hasbro is the biggest line in my collection.
Yeah, when you think about it, Hasbro has the most properties that we collect because we were talking about that too. That we collect Star Wars, Marvel, and you know, if you do Fortnite,
Rangers,
which Rangers,
yeah.
and and I got a couple of the Fortnite figures, the newer ones that they're releasing, and those are great figures. I mean, I think people are sleeping on those, and they're hard to come in the stores now because they're getting grabbed up by scalpers. But I'm gonna address this comment here by Art. Art says there's definitely an improvement in articulation. You can see the ankle joints now, which is very true. Still need an upper thigh cut. I do agree with that. I would like some of the costumes to not feel like they're hindering movement. But that goes the same with Storm Collectibles, though. I feel like Kung Lao has good articulation and he has double jointed knees and he has a double jointed elbow. But like you can't do any like if I want to do the Johnny Cage split, the figure doesn't go that way.
But is it
So
because he has that rubber skirt part?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and that,
Yeah.
and that ruins a part of that like of flexibility that I wanted to have in some of those. But again, it's I know what I'm getting into. You know, once you start seeing the price point, you're paying for more detail and accessories than you are paying for articulation. You know,
Right.
unless you're going for a Mofex, SH Figuarts, Figma, uh, then you're paying more for articulation and design than you are accessories. But then again, it depends
Right.
on the figure because like they did what was it, the Breath of the Wild Link Figma, and he looks amazing. He's $60. You know,
Right.
so Barbie.
I just
I
want to
don't want.
clarify. I don't think McFarlane is shit. I think it's amazing. It's just you asked me what my least favorite line
Yes, I
was.
did. I did, and that's true. I would say my least favorite line is NECA. I don't own many NECA pieces, and I would say, barring the turtles. I mean, if Super Seven wasn't making those figures, turtles are the only thing NECA really is that their money. Their money right now, besides horror.
For me, when it comes to NECA, I have the movie Turtles. I have a pretty big collection, and then I have the Back to the Future collection because I don't see myself getting into the Hot Toys Back to the Future because I'm gonna want a DeLorean. I'm gonna want all this stuff, and that's very expensive. Very expensive. Yes.
$1,500. for the DeLorean.
And I just need a Back to the Future representation in my collection, and NECA did it, so why not? But I agree with you. NECA is probably actually my least favorite also.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're doing they did a decent enough job, I think, with keeping people that were invested into horror
Yeah.
invested. But
Yeah.
I don't think, and they do turtles so well, like animated turtles,
Mhm.
movie turtles. Their sculpts are spot on. They don't have to be high points of articulation, but they're
Right.
willing to accept their mistakes, and they're willing to like say, "Hey, we screwed up on the April O'Neil. We're giving you guys a second April O'Neil with the Casey Jones. Oh wait, we're giving you an unmasked Casey Jones. Now we're giving you this version." It's like I could see them continually doing that. So, you know, and I'm sorry, Christian, it was not the Breath of the Wild. It is a Skyward Sword link that we are getting Figma of. So, Eddie, we have reached our hour. I got to ask, where, besides myself knowing where I can find you, where can our viewers that are interested in seeing your collection, your photography, find you?
So I'm on Instagram. It's Eddy_figures. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have any other social media. The YouTube channel will be here sometime in the future. I'll keep you guys posted about that. But yeah, just Instagram.
And we can see you on Tuesdays.
And on Tuesdays on the Legacy Collectors live on Instagram.
I'm gonna do a McFoley cheap plug. Cheap plug. Obviously, he's not a cheap plug.
Got it.
We have so much fun. It's like Eddie. This is. I am so glad that you got to come on, and you really, like I said, you helped us out of a nice little jam that I was in. But I appreciate you and getting to actually talk to you and share my friendship with you, with not just Bob, but actually just getting to understand and pick your brain about collecting. I think that that's something a lot of people don't always do. A lot of
Right.
people, we talk collecting, but we never really pick our brains as to why we collect. And it was kind of cool to get that insight about you and whatnot. So, you know, folks, for myself, for King Bob, for Eddie Figs, watch your heads out of the way of the dungeon. And as always, my friends, thank you all. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Peace, love.